Hi, we're going to talk about jumping. Not just jumping, jumping to the heavens above. Not really. We, or I, would do some math in the world of gaming. So, have you ever wondered how Mario and Luigi can jump so high and land their jump like nothing? Is it deadly? Has anyone ever achieved these jumps? Obviously, most of you have said no to these questions, but stick around as I'll show you if the brothers can survive their landing. First of all, we need to measure each of their different jumps. I'm only using the original Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels due to time, but we could still assume that each of their jump is the same in the other games. Like I said before, we need to measure each of their different jumps. We also need to know Mario's height since I'm measuring by small Marios. According to an old Mario statue officially released by Nintendo in Japan, it tells us that Mario is 155 centimeters tall, or 5'1". Small Mario is half the size of regular Mario, so he's about 2.5 feet tall. We're going to find the distance between the brothers' toe and the ground. And a quick disclaimer, I'm rounding the size to the last digit. We need a button tap jump and a button press jump for the brothers' size, run jump, and crouch jump. Let's look at the jumps of small Mario and Luigi. So, onto the button tap. As you can see here, the distance between Mario's jump and the floor is about 5 feet from the ground, and the distance between Luigi's jump and the floor is about 6 feet from the ground, which is how tall I am. Now with Big Mario and Luigi, we can see that for some reason, the distance between Mario's jump and the floor is actually about 3 feet from the ground, and the distance between Luigi's jump is about 6 feet from the ground. Again, my height. Now with the brothers crouching on a button tap, we can see that the distance between Mario's jump and the floor is 5 feet from the ground, not surprising. And the distance between Luigi's jump and the floor is about 8 feet from the ground, which is the size of the giant teddy bears from Costco you all wanted to give to your prom date a few weeks ago. Anyways, let's see the jump on a button press. The distance between Mario's foot and the ground is about 10 feet from the ground, and Luigi's jump is about 13 feet from the ground, which is the height of this dinosaur found on the internet. Anyways, let's look at the hardest jump for me to screenshot, the running jump. Yes, we're doing both small and big Mario and Luigi. Luckily, the distance between both small and big Mario's jump and the floor is about 5 feet from the ground, and the distance between both big and small Luigi's jump and the floor is about 8 feet from the ground. And that was just with the button tap. Now for the running jump with Big Mario and Luigi on a button press. This is where it gets insane. The distance between both big and small Mario's feet and the ground is about 13 feet off the ground. With Luigi, it gets even more insane. The distance between the floor and both small and big Luigi's jump is about 15 feet off the ground. That's almost half the screen size. It's about as long as the length of this U-Haul truck. This all seems impossible, doesn't it? There have been some people to reach these heights. The current Olympic record for men in high jump belongs to Charles Austin, who reached 2.39 meters or 7 feet 10 inches in 1996. And for women, Yelena Soslavrenko, sorry if I butchered the name, holds the record of reaching 2.06 meters or 6 feet 9 inches in 2004. Man, they must have strong thighs. Let's also mention someone else. The current world record for the highest jump off the ground, not high jump or running jumps or anything special, just a simple jump off the ground. The record belongs to Zayani. Again, sorry for butchering the name. This guy achieved a jump of about 60 inches from the ground, or 1.534 meters. If inches sound a bit confusing to you, then about 5 feet. We've already got some people who are able to achieve these great heights. And keep in mind, an average vertical jump for an adult human male is 16 to 20 inches, and for human adult females are 12 to 16 inches. Now you may ask, are Mario and Luigi able to survive their jumps? That's out of question because a World War II pilot, Alan McGee, survived a 20,000-foot drop after jumping off his plane with no parachute. Of course, after some research. It's important to know when jumping off a great height, you must always land on your feet. It allows for your feet and legs to absorb the shock, but you'll still feel it. And also, bend your knees to prevent yourself from being too damaged depending on the height. And seeing the Mario brothers, they can somehow take the fall. If an average human would be able to jump off a 15-foot drop, the chances are they'll survive, depending on their weight and height. Let's not forget what you land on. It's basic common sense that landing on hard ground, like brick or concrete, will be much more painful and deadly, and landing on water or sand will probably allow you to survive. To conclude this video, well, that's too cliche. We can see that the brothers can achieve such high jumps that it's not that unbelievable. The point was to compare their jumps to the real world. We saw Luigi jump up to 15 feet off the ground, which one day won't be impossible, I think. But that's about it. If you're wondering how the brothers could even jump that high, they probably have very powerful thighs. I don't know. So that's it for the video. Hopefully you gained some useless knowledge that you won't need in the future, but school is also notorious for that. Thanks again for watching, and take care.